And we are back. We are back with another story from the Breathe Anthology, Volume 2. You see it, Volume 2. Breathe. I am sharing with you today's author, Kelly Perkins, Rising into Independence. Nobody was coming. And the moment I truly understood that, I stopped waiting and started building. I was 15 years old the first time I bought my own toilet paper. Now, why would a 15-year-old have to buy her own toilet paper? I want you to sit with that sentence because I have. I've turned it over in my hands for years. What it means, what it says about the childhood I was living, what a 15-year-old should and should not have to know about, the cost of existing, sanitary napkins, toothpaste, the basic, unremarkable things that most children assume will simply be supplied, that will simply be there. Like when I get up in the morning, there's going to be toothpaste. When I get up in the morning, there's going to be food. When I get up in the morning, there's going to be things that I need, like toilet paper, to take care of my basic needs. Because there are children who are simply neglected and abused, those simple realities are not a reality for them. Nobody was taking care of me. I was in kinship care, placed with my family, which sounds like safety, but it isn't always. The people I lived with were related to me by blood and strangers to me in every way that mattered. Necessities disappeared without explanation. I learned early on that I could not assume anything would be provided. I learned to calculate, to plan, to stretch a dollar, a bag of groceries, and my own emotional reserves, far past what a teenager should be required to stretch. I was in foster care before that, moving from house to house, from one set of strangers to another. Each transition has its own quiet grief. The system has a way of making children feel like problems to be managed rather than people to be loved. I felt that. I absorbed it. I carried it into every room. I entered with a small bag and the stillness of a child who has learned not to expect too much. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna stop right there. This first page is loaded. This first page makes me think about not just Kelly's childhood, my childhood, and the childhood of so many others. And as you're listening to me, maybe you're thinking about your childhood, or maybe you're thinking about the child that you adopted, the child that you provided foster care for, the child that you provided a safe place for, the child that is in your classroom, maybe the child that's in your church, maybe it is the child that is your child's friend. So many of us have met a child like that. That child is sitting in everybody's classroom. That child is sitting in everybody's church. That child is sitting in everyone's courtroom. That child is sitting in everyone's boardroom. That child is in so many places, so many spaces. And so as I think about Kelly's story, and Kelly is a very successful entrepreneur today. That's why I can say she, you know, that child, she is the child that sat in the classroom. She is the child that who has sat in the boardroom. She is the child who has sat in so many places, so many spaces, and yet she definitely rose from the ashes. Her style, her story is not unique. She is not the first child that has went through life waiting for the cavalry to come, and the cavalry simply it didn't show up. It didn't come. She unfortunately won't be the last child who has found themselves in a place of scarcity, a place of neglect, a place of abandonment and rejection. One would one could say that her story represents your story, my story, and the story of countless others. I encourage you to invest in this book so that every woman that is sitting in a jail cell, every woman that is sitting in a shelter, every adolescent that is in a foster care home that is connected to an adoption agency will know that their story is just being written. It's not the end, it's just being written. And as I think about Kelly's story, and as I think about the amazing woman she is today, I'm so grateful that I've had the privilege and the honor to get to know Kelly and to know so many Kellys. There's been so many Kellys that I've had the privilege and the honor to work with, to share space with. And I want you to get the book so that other Kellys can be encouraged, so that other Kellys will know no, the cavalry is not coming. No, the cavalry is not coming. However, you can become what you need as Kelly has become what she's needed. But you have to get the story. And so I'm going to do something very different right now. I don't want you to invest in a book for me. I don't want you to invest in a book for Kelly. I want you to invest in a book so that the book can be given away, so that someone else can read the story and know that they're not alone and know that they can be whoever they desire to be. They just have to invest in themselves. And though they may have been neglected, though they may have been cast away, left for dead, it doesn't matter because their life has a purpose. Their life has meaning. Their life is just beginning. Kelly's story reminds me of when I was a teacher working at Youthville. I had so many Kellys in my classroom. I've worked with so many Kellys. I'm just so grateful that she decided to share her story. I want to know, comment, please comment. Do you know a Kelly who is not thriving right now? Do you know a Kelly that is living in foster care? Do you know a Kelly that is sitting in a classroom waiting to be helped, waiting to be discouraged? A Kelly who needs some encouragement, a Kelly who needs to know what's possible, because the best is yet to come. As I read Kelly's story, I got encouraged all over again, because our story don't belong to us. Our story is for those that's going to come after us and read it and say, if Kelly can do it, coming from where she came from, surely a girl like me can rise up from where I am and become and do and be. It's not always going to be easy, but it is possible. It is definitely possible. So I just want to impress upon you, wherever you find yourself, in any of these stories, as I'm sharing them all throughout today, get a copy. Go to amazingyou.com, and don't get a copy for me. Get a copy for all of the women that you are connected to. Share this with 5 others who need to know that though your story did not start out the way that you wanted it to, maybe, it definitely doesn't have to end right here. You get to create the end of your story. You are the author. You have, baby, you have the pen in your hand, and you get to write the ending. You get to write the ending, and you do that by getting up, dusting off your shoulders, putting your shoulders back, holding your head up, and understanding that as long as you have breath in your body, baby, you can do it. You can make it. You can breathe. You can be anything that God has given you a vision to be. How about that? Because I just believe that if God brings it to you, he's going to bring it through you. If God has brought it to you in a vision, in a dream, he is going to bring it through you. So hold on. Hold on to that dream. Hold on to that goal. Hold on to that vision, and know that what the devil meant for bad, God will turn it, if he hasn't already, for your good. Hold on. Keep going. Don't give up, and don't grow weary in well doing. Invest in you, because when you invest in you, baby, that return is owed to nobody but you. And to God be all the glory. All right, you guys. I'm going to stop right here. Go to amazingyou.com. Pick up your copy of Breathe Again, Volume 2. Peace.